What's going on, boys? What's going on? What's going on? Today's the day. Today's the day that I do my exam. If I'm one of them babe watch motherfuckers, I'm excited. I got my I got my feel for it. Let me put you on the game real quick. If you ever got a long day, if you got a busy day, go get yourself a little Starbucks, ice caramel macchiato, 7 shots of espresso, 2 packs of sugars. You'll be wired and locked in for the day. Telling you. And plus, I started drinking this as my pre-workout for the gym ski. Dude, my workouts, dude, bro, shit crazy. Now somebody's gonna be in the comment and be like, it's just not healthy. Look, man, the heart's a muscle too. Okay, you can't forget about heart day. All right. But like, it's an easy like 600-700 vanillis of caffeine. You know what I'm saying? So you'll be wired. You'll be locked the fuck in for the day. But the dude that was making it, he was judging the shit out of me. He was like, he looked at me. He was like, "You want 7 shots of espresso?" And I say, "Yes, sir." And he was like, he looked at me and he was like, "Dude, are you good?" And I'm like, "No, sir." And even wrote even wrote a letter. It was pretty cool. Muchas gracias. Disfrútalo. Pretty cool. But anyway, so I know I said the other day that or yesterday that I disappeared for a month straight. And one thing that I learned from that experience is I wish I had documented it. But looking back on it, I did learn a lot. I did learn a lot because I learned a lot about myself. And a lot of the time, whenever I tell people, yeah, I wake up every day at 4 in the morning, it's kind of jarring to them. They're like, why do you wake up at 4:25? Like, that's just an outrageous time to wake up. And it's hard to explain to somebody, like, it isn't for me that I do it. And before last month, I kind of stopped. I started slowing down and I started slipping up because I was going through this like weird mental like cage, and it not only started affecting me, but it started affecting those that I love, started affecting those that I care about, and started affecting the people that cared about me. And it hurt because I started doing this weird thing of isolating myself. I started distancing myself from everyone that I knew, everyone that I love, and it caused me to lose some people because for some odd reason I do this weird thing whenever I'm going through it. I tend to distance myself. I tend to very much isolate myself because I feel like I don't like to project my problems onto other people, but it ended up happening anyway. And I don't like talking about my issues and things that I go through mentally and things that I go through by myself because at the end of the day they're my problems, they're my issues. They're everyone has problems. I'm not gonna sit here and play the Will Small's violin, but in doing that, I involuntarily pushed people out of my life, and you know it's so strange when that happens because it's so easy to fall into that victim mindset. Oh, why they leave me? Blah blah. Blah. It's like no, bro. Your actions, bro. Like, and that's something that I feel like as a man, as an individual, you can't keep pointing fingers. You know, everything that went wrong in your life is your fault. Everything, that I am the result of every decision that I've made for the past 22 years. You know, every decision I made, no matter small, big, medium, doesn't matter how massive it was. At the end of the day, it was still a decision that I made. I can't blame other people. No one's living my life. I'm the one living my life. I am the one making conscious decisions, whether conscious or unconsciously. Even if they're unconscious decisions, it's probably even worse because that's, what are you feeding your subconscious mind at that point? And you're not integrating your own shadow, but it's a topic for a different video. So what I wanted to get to is why I emphasize mastering your morning, mastering yourself, because discipline is not easy to come by. It's not an easy. It's not easy. I'm gonna be the first person to say it is not a simple task to master. There was a time period where I was an extremely undisciplined person, where I was extremely lazy. I was extremely victim mindset, victim, just blaming the world for my problems, blaming the world for my issues. When in the end of the day, I am the one, making those decisions, whether, again, conscious or unconsciously. And, in the past month, I started slipping up in my routine. And yesterday I posted my that saving myself from depression and my arm day work. It wasn't to show like, oh, I think I better than anyone. No, it's not just to say that I wake up at 4:25 or I do this like I'm up before everyone else and I accomplish all these things before everyone else. No, it's because I've learned from for the past month that if I do not implement systems for me, I tend to really self sabotage. I'm gonna be completely naked with you guys, and when I started this YouTube channel, I told myself that I'm gonna be completely raw, completely honest, completely naked, and not hide anything. And personally, I've been looking forward to doing this because it's something I've seriously struggled with for a very long time. It's something I struggle with within my relationships. It's something I struggle. It's a common theme that I struggle with even with my own friends, with my own close relationships and relationships from the past. Is being seen and allowing myself to be seen and to be naked completely. It's a scary feeling. It's a scary place to be for me, at least. So when I started slipping up, started sleeping in, not eating right, not going, skipping days at the gym, started like coping, be like, you know what, for the past 6 months, I woke up at exactly the same time, been eating the same thing every single solitary day. I deserve this, and then it starts snowballing. And when I don't implement my systems and when I don't master my morning, I have this proclivity to lash out onto other people and take it out on the other people, people that don't deserve it, people that had nothing to do with it, with my own hypocrisies. You know, when I'm not living my truth and when I'm not living the way that I know I should be living correctly and before Christ, because for me, my actions are constantly being watched. I know that for a fact. I know for a fact I'm always being watched, and I'm asking, and one of my prayers, I'm like, Lord, please guide me to be the man that you want me to be, mold me into the person you want me to be. And I see the bigger picture. And when on the days that I don't wake up early and I don't go to the gym and I don't put God first in my mornings and I don't pray and I don't journal and I don't do those things, I lack so much in my life. And then it starts translating into onto other people, transmuting into other people, and then people that just don't even deserve it. They didn't even do anything. They were just there trying to be supportive. They were just there trying to help, and due to my own lacking, I almost feel like, yo, I don't deserve that. And then I start to self sabotage. And I know for a fact, you felt that. You wake up, you have no direction, no goal, no nothing, no daily tasks. And then you just start doom scrolling, start chasing dopamine, going on websites you shouldn't be on. And eventually it begins to eat at your soul completely. It starts to completely eat at you. And you can lie, you can manipulate, you can gaslight, you can mislead, you can fool the world. But the one person you can't fool is yourself. Why? Because when the distractions are off, the lights are off, you're about to go to sleep, and finally you have a moment of just stillness. What do you tell yourself? What are your thoughts? Are they are they good? Are they negative? Or you think to yourself, another day wasted, another another day of opportunities that I just wasted, that I just allowed to slip by. And the worst part is you project that onto other people. You project your lack of conviction, your lack of accomplishment to other people when they didn't even do anything. You start to get angry, you start to get short tempered because you feel like you're not taking care of yourself, you're not doing anything to further yourself, to improve yourself, to feed your mind, feed your soul, feed your body. It's so important, man. It's so important to be able to make sure that you master your morning so that you can conquer your day, so that you can earn your rest at night. Because when you master your morning, I promise you, like when I started slipping up, when I started to not be disciplined with myself and not stick to my systems, and then it snowballed because I was sleeping in, and then I started feeling the pull again. You know, my old desires were calling to me and calling out to me to do all these bad things. And the worst part is that I allowed a few bad habits back into my life. You know, like just like I said, like I'm gonna be completely raw. Like I started smoking weed again, and I remember when I sparked, I asked myself, "What am I doing? Why am I doing this? What am I running from?" And to a lot of people, that's a scary thought. It's not a good thought process, and it's not. It's just you gotta seriously ask yourself when you smoke weed and you spark up and you roll up and all these sort of things, the act of doing it and the motion and the feeling and all these things that you do does not progress you. You gotta understand. For me, like, dude, bro, I love rolling up the fattest blunts, bro. I love blunts. I can't be asked for joints. I don't know. I just don't. Don't give me a little GB. I don't fuck with it. Give me a blunt. We are not little children. You know what I'm saying? Let's grow up. Give me a blunt. And you got to break down the schmeed. You got to get the blunt. Got to roll up. And the worst part is that you lose a lot of time doing it. You waste so much time. And the feeling that it gives you, because for me, when I started sparking again, all I was searching for was peace. All that I really wanted was some peace of mind. Just for a little while. But then I came to realize that it's not through that I feel at peace, because I didn't. I started sparking again, and I didn't get the peace. And it like rattled my mind. I was like, what's going on? Like, why is this? And then I understood. I compared the past month versus the past 6 months. And then I realized, oh, I am no longer this person. This is not who I am. This is not my higher purpose. My higher purpose and everything that I do is to hopefully one day to show God and be like, hey, look, I've been doing this every single solitary day to hopefully one day be a good example of good masculine, a good man, a good husband, and a good father to my creator, to hopefully one day to be blessed with his daughter. I know for a fact my actions are being watched, and I know for a fact you do too. And the worst part is you don't really want to do it. And I get it. Like in the middle of it, I get excited doing it. I'm just like, it's like back in the day, like you're breaking on the street, you roll up, you feel me? It's like, and then you just Jay, motherfucking Jay, like you're Molochi, bro, you feel me? Molochi, you feel me? Dude, this is so gas. But when I started, no, it was bad because when I started slipping up and I started sparking, and then I could feel the pull to like want to go to pubs and then want to go to clubs and all this sort of stuff. And then that to me, when I started having those thoughts of like, let's go to like, whoa, what if we did go to a club? Whoa, what if we did go to a pub? I caught myself. That to me was a completely red flag, like red alert. That like, oh crap, I'm slipping. I'm really slipping in my life. And when you look at that and when you see that your habits, who you are what define you as a person, as a man. Because you can say the most beautiful things, you can say the most beautiful ideas, but if you do not live them, you are a hypocrite. Hmm. You know, sometimes it takes a really humbling experience because as a man, you don't, you for some reason, the older, I don't know, like, I believe this as a generality, is that a word? But for men, generally speaking, the older we get, the more stubborn we get, unfortunately. And it takes a really humbling experience for you to take a step back and be like, nah, you know what, you're right. I am a hypocrite. I have not been living what I preach. I have not been living the way that is my higher purpose, my higher calling. And that's okay because now you're stripping your ego. Jung would call it as you integrating your shadow, and then you see your shadow work and you see your shadow traits. You see those bad habits, and you say, "Whoa!" You start nitpicking and pinpointing where you go wrong as an individual, and you stop projecting that onto other people because they get to a point where you know your own bad habits, and then you look at someone else and you see their bad habits, and it's easier to pick apart their bad habits versus yours, and that's not good, man. Because we can't sit here and play judge, you know. At least for me, I'm only 22 years old. I still have so much to learn. I have so much life to live. But I give glory to God that for the past month, I was able to achieve this level of awareness. That I was able to really hone down on what I do wrong. And when I think it's so important to have your mindset, habit, nutrition, and fitness as a man, as an individual, those four things absolutely unlock. If you do not have the mindset and the discipline of a rare motherfucker, you're gonna be broken and eaten alive and spit back out. Without discipline over yourself and your desires, you're gonna be swayed to any direction in life without any conviction, without any grounding in who you are. Like, I asked myself, like, what if today, not like, what if the version of me the past month got a wife and got a kid? I wouldn't, that'd be terrible. Why? Because I would be a bad example. I want to be able to, I want my kids to be able to look up to me and be like, yeah, no, my dad wakes up every day early as hell to go to the gym, works hard every day for me and my brothers and my sisters to have the opportunities we have. All he does is just show up when we need him, and he absolutely kills it every day, to be the best possible version, and, to be able to be a good husband, a provider, not just physically, not just monetarily, but as well emotionally, mentally, spiritually, to be able to guide, to be able to lead. But I cannot lead, and you cannot lead without first dominating over yourself. When people say track your macros, no one's saying that, okay, today I have 1,600 calories. Dude, I was 220 pounds, 225, excuse me, 225 pounds, and not lean, 225 pounds fat. And one thing that people don't want to talk about when losing weight, bro, it's all the mind. If you are mentally fat, it is reflected in your temple. If all you do is just nut all day, of course you have no energy, no clarity, no mental focus. If all you do is just lust after women, how can you expect to learn how to love a woman? If all you do is just chase after dopamine, how would you know what discipline feels like? You know, how can you expect to lead when you can't even lead yourself? You can't even be disciplined enough to go to the gym, to get your mindset, habits, nutrition, and fitness right. How many days have gone by where you were like, I'm going to wake up tomorrow at this time, and you just didn't? How many times does that happen? Just be completely honest with me, dude. Because I've done it. I've done it. I remember there were days I said, all right, tomorrow's a new day. We're going to wake up at 4:25. Woke up at 10. Fuck. And it kills me every time. And it's not setting me up for success for the rest of my day because my morning's gone. I didn't master my morning. So it's going to be harder for me to conquer my day to be able to earn my rest at night. You have to master your morning. And like I told you, me, I have a proclivity of really taking it out on other people that do not deserve it because of my own lack of discipline. When I was the most disciplined person, when I was just absolutely killing it, mastering my mornings, conquering my days so I can earn my night. Man, was I the most gentle spirit when I was just the most guiding, most nurturing, most loving, caring person. And it translates, man, when all you do is just waste your time, when all you do is just like chase after dopamine and just run away from your problems, smoking weed, drinking alcohol, going to parties and pubs and clubs and all these sort of things, your spirit dwindles, your spirit flickers. It doesn't, you're no longer burning with that fire, you're no longer burning with purpose, you're now just withering with pleasure. You no longer have the fire in you, in your eyes, to say, no, I will not allow my desires to control me anymore. It's not just about waking up early before everyone else, before the sun, and be able to just say that. No, it's understanding that you are at a spiritual warfare with yourself and the world. It's understanding that there are principalities that are out for your soul, for your spirit. You have to understand that you're created in the image of God. You mean to tell me that no one wants to take that away from you? Dude, could you like look at the system that we live in? Look at how social media and all these sort of things are created to be against you. It's meant to derive and steal your attention so that you can always be distracted. You don't think about discipline. You don't think about being better than who you were yesterday. You don't think and reflect who you were the past month versus the past 6 months. What your habits were the past week versus what your habits were 6 months ago. You know, when you don't allow yourself to sit in the stillness and in the silence, and you don't sit there and reflect where you went wrong, you are cursed to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. And more bridges are going to be burned. More people are going to be out of your life because you refuse to fix yourself, because you refuse to fix your mind, because you refuse to confront your hypocrisies, because you refuse to see all your insecurities, see everything that you're lacking, and refusing to confront it instead of facing it head on. And you know what, diving face first into your own abyss, facing every possible ugly part of you and saying, I accept you, but I'm going to change you. You know what, I accept where I went wrong. I accept all my decisions, all of my shitty decisions that led me to be who I am today. I take 100% accountability for. But moving forward, I am making I am making today starts the new dawn of me. This is the new version of me that will be born, and then you're reborn again. And that's a beautiful part when you're just washed in the blood of Christ, man. It's just people hear that story over and over again, but they never sit and reflect and really understand it. Could you imagine our Creator just watching us for years? Can you imagine how long it took? Like, man, you gotta understand, for me, I went from smoking, drinking, partying, chasing girls, chasing dopamine, chasing whatever I could get my hands on just to fill this infinite void, just to fill this infinite lack of purpose, chasing literally anything. And then at the end of the day, sometimes not even chasing anything, rotting in my bed, rotting on my couch, watching Netflix, watching some stupid show, stupid movie that did not further my purpose. How much longer are you just going to wither away in pleasure? You tell yourself, this is the year that I'm going to lose the weight. Okay, stop talking about it and just do it. This year I'm going to be disciplined. Stop talking about it and just do it. Oh, but this, that, and the other. I'm at $40,000 in debt. I'm this and that. I'm just that, that, that. Shut up. That's enough, bro. You either get it done or you just never do it. And then just gets pushed off, pushed off, pushed off, pushed off, pushed off. And before you know it, another week, another month, another year has rolled by. And you sit there and you blink and you sit there and wonder, where did the time go? I thought I had more time. You know, I I really there was a cemetery that back in the US, back at home, that many years ago I would actually see a lot. And looking back, I used to see cemeteries and kind of get creeped out by it. I don't know why. I've just never been a fan of cemeteries. They're a little weird. But I really wonder how many people in their grave thought to themselves, I thought I had more time. You know, Like, I wonder how much of their goals they didn't get to achieve. I wonder how many times they told themselves, I'm going to change, I'm going to be better, I'm going to change, I'm going to do this, I'm going to lose the weight, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. And they just never did. And they were just the product of wasted potential. And that is such a fear of mine, to just allow so much of myself to just be wasted because I refuse to confront myself. And the funny thing is that the work is not hard. It's actually fun. I have fun waking up early and putting God, like, you don't understand. If I don't have my Bible study in the mornings, oh my God, I just feel like I failed God. If I don't wake up early, I'm like, damn, I failed. This has just set me back a day. Like, he's watching me and he's just like, bro, you hit snooze again. It's getting to the point where it got to a point where, like, I was hitting snooze so much that I was getting angry with myself, and that anger started projecting onto other people, and they're like, what did I do? And it's like, you didn't do anything. I am the problem. It's just I don't know why I can't see it right now. You don't I can't see it. You couldn't just see it in the moment. And glory to God, when you have this level of awareness, and then you just sit in the solitude and you just listen to that voice in your thoughts in your head, and you just wonder, like, where is this coming from? You reflect and you seriously do your own work. I just the last thing I think any man would want is to have children, and their children have to deal with their lack of integration. You know, like, as a man and as a father, I think the last thing they would want is to hear their children, yeah, no, dad, like, you refuse to do your own shadow work that I had to, like, I dealt with it, you know, and how many times have you, like, damn, the greatest men, the greatest, kings, conquerors, they all fell the same way. It was always lust. It was always through, like, a woman. It was always, King David, literally, he was known to touch God's heart, soften God's heart, and he was completely consumed by lust, to the point where he killed a man, basically put him in the front lines for him to be killed so he can move in on his girl. That's crazy, bro. When you see all these shadow things, your shadow can really be that domination, that lust, that thing that you just refuse to confront within yourself. It's only gonna be projected onto other people, and other people are gonna have to deal with it. You can't allow this to happen any longer, man. You just can't. You say you want you have a vision of grandiose things, but you don't even have the discipline to be able to wake up at a certain time and go to bed at the same time. I actually have alarms, and people look at me like I'm weird. I'm not even, I'm being so serious. And in the beginning, everyone thought I was weird. Everyone thought I was weird when I said that, like, hey, look, I'm cutting carbs. I don't eat carbs. I'm only doing a carnivore diet, and I'm fasting. I only eat once a day. They all thought I was absolutely insane. My whole family, friends, they all thought I was fucking crazy. They were like, yo, bro, that's not healthy. Look at me now. Literally, from October of last year, I was 225 pounds, and we're in May, and I'm 155 pounds. I lost the weight, and now I'm just putting on muscle. Like, when you truly want something, you don't listen to the noise, you don't listen to anything, you just get it done. You're only crazy until it works, my brother, my brother in Christ, my sister in Christ. It is only crazy until it works. you know There's nothing, everyone's going to doubt you in the beginning. Everyone is going to have something to say in the beginning because they know in the back of their minds, they don't want to put in that work. They know that they have to do it. They know they have to track their macros. They know they have to do these things, but they don't like that somebody else is willing to do it and they're not. So they're going to say everything and do everything in their power to keep you from doing it so that they keep you in the same spot so that they don't feel worse about themselves. You can't keep living like this, dude. Like, you have to master your morning to be able to conquer your day. Because if not, you're going to make the same mistakes I made. And you're just going to project it on other people that just don't deserve it. And I'm glad that God allowed me to go through what I went through the past month because now I understand that, without my systems, without waking up early, without putting Him first, and be able to have a productive morning before even the sun rises, working before the sun is up, I spiral. I literally am just a downward spiral. I start to spiral, and I start to do my worst habits, and the people that don't deserve mistreatment, I'm the one that's mistreating them. I know every dude has that proclivity for anger. Every dude has it. Every dude has that quiet corner in their heart that's just nothing but wrath. Some people, you can control it more than others, but it's still there. It's just that anger that just eats away at your soul. That it's just so sticky. It's there, but you just don't know what to do with all that raw anger, and it just ruins your day. But if you know for a fact and you wake up at the same time, put God first, get everything done that you need to get done before the day starts, I know for a fact I'm having a good day. Like, you know what, my life is going to not going the way I want it to go, but I know for a fact these things are going to get done. And that's the kind of man that I feel like every guy wants to be. She's like, you know what, I say I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. When I say I'm going to get something done, I get it done. Doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what I'm going through. It doesn't matter what the worst possible thing that could be happening in my life. But I know for a fact I'm going to get these things done because they are my non-negotiables. And they're not just that, but I am conquering myself. I'm conquering my old self. I'm conquering and chipping away and molding myself to be the man that is above his serpent, that is above his desires, that is above his lower carnal energy, and allowing himself to step into the man you always knew you were meant to be. Is it easy? Absolutely not. That's why if it were easy, everyone would have it. But the ones that do have it are the ones that are the most respected, are the ones that are the most loved, are the ones that are the most successful. That's why you don't, when you see and meet a rare motherfucker, it's almost shocking when you hear, yeah, no, I wake up at 4 in the morning every day. What? And they would never understand because to them that's just so jarring. It's like they're just comfortable with being mediocre, but I know you don't want that for yourself. You don't want a mediocrity. You don't want to be mediocre. You don't. Look, man, we're already in May. June, July, August, September, October, November, December. We have 7 months left. Damn, we have 7 months left into the year. Summer's coming. Did you lose the weight? Did you get your money up? Did you even have mastered a single morning? Or is there just more excuses? Is there more cope? At the end of the day, bro, you are in control of your decisions. Doesn't matter if you're going through a heartbreak. Doesn't matter if you lost, the girl of your dreams. Doesn't matter if you're unemployed. Currently, I'm unemployed, bro. I've been unemployed for the past 6 months, 7 months. Yeah, dude, this has been it's been like I've been losing my fucking marbles, dude. I'm so serious. I've been losing my mind. However, upon losing my mind, I found solace in knowing that I'm still working every day to be the best version of me. For when the time comes, I am ready. For when the blessing comes, it comes at the perfect time when I am become the man that I'm supposed to be. When he sees me and he says, "You finally got the message. You finally got it. Here's the blessing." And until then, all I can do is just keep working, keep my head down, stay humble, and just move forward. And that's all you can do too, bro. All you can do is just work on you. The world can go to shit. The world can hate you. But at the end of the day, when you go to bed at night, when you turn off those lights, who is there in that bed with you? Yourself. You have to be happy with yourself. You have to be okay with yourself. And if you're not, ask yourself why. Do not be afraid of those questions. Do not grab that phone. Do not grab that computer. Do not grab that PS5. Do not turn on that TV. Don't. Sit with the thoughts that you're scared to confront, because those thoughts are the ones that are going to change who you are. Because a lot of people, where they go wrong is that they have these thoughts, they have these moments, they have these jarring realizations, and they think to themselves, this is too much. Let me grab my phone and doom scroll. No, confront them with everything that you are, with every ounce of your being, with relentless intention. Ask yourself, why am I thinking this? Where is this thought coming from? Where is it stemming from? What insecurity, what hypocrisy, what is it about me that I am too afraid to confront this desire, confront this emotion, confront this passing moment? Because you know what's crazy? This too shall pass. Everything shall pass. That happy moment, that sad moment, that grieving moment, that heartbreak, doesn't matter. This too shall pass. It doesn't matter what it is that you're going through, because it will pass. I promise you it will pass. What you think is the worst possible moment in your life, you've had that same exact thought another point in your life where you're like, oh my God, this is the absolute worst thing that could possibly happen to me in my life. How the fuck am I going to get through it? And here you still are. And here you still are. It passed. It passed. Don't be afraid to confront those thoughts. Don't be afraid to confront those emotions. Those emotions and those uncomfortable conversations with yourself. Don't be afraid of it, because I promise you, you will have the crazy revelations with yourself and then another level of awareness that you'll even catch yourself like right before your bad habit. You catch yourself mentally and you're like, no, that's the old me. New me, this is what we do. And you just start living, you start being. You just simply are. Anyway, boys, like the video, comment, let me know what you think. Um, let me know what you liked about this video, past couple videos, what you don't like. Let's um yeah, I'd love some feedback. But In this generation, in this world of like absolute weak-minded people, be strong within yourself. Just be strong within yourself. I believe in you, 100%. Look, man, if I could do it, bro, I promise you, you could do. You could too. I'm not anything special, man. I'm really not. I'm really not anything special. You just gotta have to want it a little more than everyone else. It's the mindset I had when I wanted to lose the weight. Now I just want to be the best possible version of me. Just get 1% better every single solitary day. When I start to slip, I catch myself and I fall back on my systems. It's time for you to start falling back onto yours. And if you don't have any systems, start working on that. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video, and I'll catch y'all boys.